Welcome all. Welcome again. I'm Jordan. But today, I have my notes ready. Today, we're going to talk about clout. Yeah, it's going to be one of those. Yeah, I know. But I got the definition here for you, just to get us started, just to get the minds flowing and rustling and bustling and all that. It's an informal noun. Influence or power, especially in politics or business. Clout. Yes, that is the true definition of clout. Just having that perception. Um, I wrote it here in my notes. I'm mental illness. It's not. It's. Uh, I'll say it. I think of it as a mental illness because I know that could be harsh. That could be a harsh definition for something. I don't mean it as a harsh mental illness. Like, oh my god, you need to be locked up. Like, no, it's not like that. But that is a sickness that we have. Everybody has. You're born with it. Everywhere you go, everything you see, it's everywhere. Not even just in humans, in animals, whatever. It's everywhere. Um, but yeah, the perception of wanting to be liked, wanting to be feared, wanting to be hated, wanting to be known, just wanting to everybody to know who you are. That all can be considered a clout. Now, if you're now here's here's the difference between clout and just being known or whatever, or people liking you or whatever. Clout, you're using it to get an advantage. You're able to use that to get an advantage in a certain situation. That's why in the definition it was talking about business and politics, because the people who have been there the longest, who have the most influence, like Senator Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, pretty much whatever he says goes, especially him being the leader of the House. But yeah, whatever he's with is gonna go for the most part. Not all the time, of course, but he has that clout. He has that recognition of who he is, why he's there, because he's been there so long. He's been there like 27 years, something like that. Um, and this is not about politics. Don't so this is not one of those. Um, trying to think of a business situation. Hold on. Okay, yeah, in business, you're at a job. Let's say you're working in a cubicle. You're working somewhere in a cubicle. You have a boss and you have a bigger boss or whatever it may be. You might just have the one boss. When you first start that job, or within the first like couple of weeks of finding that job, you'll see how the system is running, how you can fit in, or where you can fit in at least to begin with, and then build yourself up. You're gonna see that dynamic with whatever it is. It doesn't have to be in a cubicle. I was just using that as an example. Like, how people talk. You see the big boss. You see the boss every day, but then the big boss you rarely ever see. Like, you'll see him in the morning when you come in, or when he's coming in at lunchtime, and then at the end of the day, and that's the only time you really see him. And then whenever you hear anybody talk about the big boss, they're always talking about him firing somebody or him getting on some, whatever the case may be. That's just using that as an example. We're just using that as an example. But yeah, anywhere you go, any job you start, any school you go to, you'll see that system build. You'll even see it in the first day. If you work in a place that's big enough that has a lot of people, you'll start seeing who really runs things around there, like who's really ahead, like who's really, and Not all the time will it have to do with who's been there longest. Sometimes it does, but I don't know. I really don't know the splits. So I can't say most times it's this way. But sometimes it'll be the person who's the oldest and who's been there the longest. But other times it'll just be someone who came in and just changed the culture just like that. Like they just changed everything about it, and they just or a new boss or whatever. Like you'll start seeing the chain of command of what you can do, what you can't do. And that's clout. That's and the people who've been there that long, not necessarily they're doing it because of that, but that's why they've been in this. That's why they've been in their situation for however long they are, because they have that power, they have that influence, and they know if they go somewhere else, they have to give that up because they have to start all over again. The reason why people get comfortable, as well. But clout and how I was thinking of it in media and social media. We use media like how they are always showing celebrities doing whatever media minimum task, and then they got these celebrities posting all over Instagram and Twitter and whatever else, Facebook, talking about this and that and this and that and the third. They have the clout to be able to influence a lot of people, whether it's in a good way or a bad way. They've done something to capitalize on their success for whatever reason it is for to be able to do that. And sometimes they don't even do it to them, like they kind of just fall into it. Sometimes they've been prepping for this, and sometimes they just fall into it. Like they just one day they just were a normal person. Next day they were famous. Like you see it. Say you see it every day, but you see it all the time. Like you hear about stuff like that all the time. That's clout. That's popularity. In social media, Instagram models. They're not real models for the most part. Most of them are not real models. But they get treated like real models, well, in a Instagram sense, because they look good. They can take good pictures. This, that, and third, or whatever. Comedians, same thing. The ones with the most clout are gonna get the bigger audience. Who have the big spark will have the bigger audience. I mean, things like that always change. Clout isn't always forever. Like you don't always hold that same power like you always did. Depending on what you did to get that clout, get that power, you're gonna have to continue doing it, build on it, keep moving on with the times. You have to keep innovating yourself. Now, some people don't have to do anything. Like a lot of old school businessmen, they don't really have to do anything. They're gonna dress the same way that they always do. They do the same thing they always do. They don't. Their clout is being serious. Their clout is being the boss, and then the boss at home. But yeah, our perceptions of wanting to be liked, and of course, you want to be liked, you want to be loved, you want to be all that. That's of course. I'm not saying anything about love, anything about having friends, anything about having fun. Like whatever you think of, whoever you think about being around when you're thinking about having fun. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about people that you don't necessarily care for or don't like at all or don't know. Like you want to put on this such a perception for people who have literally done nothing to you and who have literally done nothing for you in life, like have not done nothing positive for you in life, and you want to have the perception of, oh, my life is so great, my life is so good, or whatever, which it's okay. I'm not saying anything against that either. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. Like I said, people gain clout and can grow from it so quickly. You just gotta know when to hit it and when to hit it right, and you better hit that shit right. But we want to put on our perception for people who we don't necessarily care for, or I assume we don't care for. Like you say you don't care about what they say, how they feel about you, but then you always bring them up, or always making sure they see what you're doing when you're out. I mean, I'm saying in public or whatever, posting on social media. It's a sickness. And it's just getting worse because we have phones now. We're able to do that. Like olden days, I mean, the only time you really saw or you really knew what was going on with somebody is if someone told you. I'm not saying that person had to tell you, but I'm saying someone had to go, oh, you see with, yeah. But now you don't even have to see them. You don't have to go to a phone, dial the number. You can hit a button. It's calling them. Few taps, you just texted them. Shit's sick. We don't have to read newspapers. We have news on our phones. We have YouTube. We have Netflix. We don't have to go to the movies anymore. The movie theaters are dead. Within 10 years, they'll all be bankrupt. We got Disney Plus. Hulu. Whatever else. We got everything on a phone. Whatever you want, whatever you can think of, you can find it on your phone. That's nuts. But yeah, I said it here first. 10 years. So in 2030, there'll be no more or very little movie theaters left. Radio's dying out now. I'll say I'll get that about actually that'll be about the same time. I think movie theaters and radio are about to go out at the same time. Cause you got Apple Music now, Spotify, Pandora, like whatever song you want to listen to, damn near you can listen to right then and there. Like you don't need to listen to 10 songs before you get to the song you want to really listen to. But yeah, radio's dead. Movie theaters are dead. And I said it here first. First one to say it. Today is July 21st, I believe, 2020. I said it here first. If it does it within 10 years, I'm the man. But and we'll go back to clout. Bad clout is when you're doing it for free. Like there's people out here doing it for money, which is great. Get your bag. Get them coins. But there's people out here doing this for free. Trying to impress people for free. For no reason. Why? Why do you care? Why do you care? They don't mean nothing to you. Why do you care? But that's all I can think of right now. If there needs to be a part 2 for this, let me know. But comment down below what you would like me to talk about next or in a future video. Comment if you thought I was spitting facts or was complete trash. Like this video, share it, subscribe. That's gonna be like one of these corners. I don't know, probably. Yeah, I think it's gonna be like right there. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter is Big Papa Russell. Instagram is Jovid23_. Be in the description below. And you all have a great day. See you next time.